In the field with Beyond Wynn.
Aaron Wynn.
And Brian Wynn.
Hey, that's how they got into real estate. Welcome back to another episode of In the Field with Beyond Wynn and kids. My sons. All right, cool. Let's get this thing started. We'll start with the taller one first. You got to introduce yourself.
My name is Brian Wynn, Beyond's son, licensed real estate agent and investor here in Cleveland, Ohio.
What made you want to get into real estate?
Watching you demonstrate as a kid, being at Home Depot, being outside, like with you in the field as opposed to playing outside. And like those years of repetition set me up for success now.
So in the beginning, you was interested? When I used to pick y'all up, it seemed like y'all ain't want to go to Home Depot and look at houses.
So in the beginning, I was pissed off because I wanted to be outside, and then you would drop me off at like 8, 9 o'clock, and then that window had closed. But like once I got into high school, then I started to understand like those years actually paid off. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to do like from like a young age and everything like that.
My second son, introduce yourself.
I'm Aaron Wynn. So what got me interested in real estate, it kind of was a trickle effect, like he said, watching my father demonstrate over the years. And then I was into other things. I had a bunch of other jobs, and I got back to the point where I started watching my brother demonstrate these things, as well as him obtain his freedom from, being up under anybody and growing as an independent person. So, that was one of the things I always strive for, to be able to do for myself and others around me. And I say real estate brought me that freedom.
All right, so Brian, kind of share with the people about your college journey. Because before you got into real estate, you went to Kent State. Talk about that whole thing, your favorite.
So before I got into real estate, I did go to college, but my plan was still real estate. I went to college because I was following my girlfriend at the time, but I seen the opportunity to like network out there, to live independently on your own. So I decided to sign up for college. Those years were great. The experiences that I had were great, but ultimately I always wanted to do real estate. So I think I did 2 years at Kent State. And then, once I got tired of it, I decided to come back home, get my real estate license, and the rest is history.
So Aaron, share with them like your rap journey. Here's another thing. I know my mother used to always tell me, I was cutting up, doing all these different things, didn't take life serious. She was like, one day you're gonna have kids and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm thinking like, you tripping. And so then I had this kid, right? In school, like he doing all kind of in school. And then, so I would come to his mom's house, after he get in trouble. And so I'm talking to this dude and he just looking like he ain't got a care in the world. Like that don't really mean nothing like that. It's just cool, dude. What you talking about? And whatever you're gonna do, just go and do it. And I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I've been doing. And so I'm looking at this dude like, man, I wanna strangle this dude. And so one day as I started to think about it, I'm like, this just like me. It's like whatever. Like just everything funny, everything a joke. And so that's when my mind changed. I started to realize when I looked in the mirror that he was just like me. And so my mother was like, yeah, you're gonna see. It was like, and I hear this thing like older people be like, you're gonna have them kids, certain ones, they're gonna be just like you. And you don't believe it until you actually have kids. And I had like 7 of them, right? So I didn't really give myself an opportunity not to experience. So I'm experiencing it multiple times with not just my sons, but with some of my daughters too. But anyway, this guy started rapping. So just knowing him and knowing me, I'm like, he probably want to do everything but what I'm doing. He gonna make his own way. So was that the thought process? You just like, you gonna do your own thing?
Yeah, at a young age, I realized whatever you do, you gonna suffer the consequences. So I don't care what advice somebody give you, what people tell you. I was just always one of those people like, I need to experience it for myself. I need to go through it for myself. That way I could come out on the other end if things didn't go the way I thought they should go. Then, okay, I'm cool with dealing with the consequences. Now I'm listening to somebody else, and then it goes into a place where it's like, I should just listen to my own damn mind. So I'm cool with, I'm cool with catching, the raft on the other end of things, just so I can learn and, do it for myself, because that's the only way that I'm able to move forward with whatever I do.
That's a good way to think. That's how life should be lived. Like whatever the vision is that individuals have for themselves, they need to bring that vision to life, no matter how it worked out. So at the end of the day, at the end of their life, beginning of their life, they can know that they lived life on their terms and they did everything in their power to bring their vision to life. That's good. And I wouldn't expect nothing less. From the beginning, I think that I've shown and taught y'all that whatever it is that you want to do, that's what you should do. However life go based upon the decision and choice that you make, you live with it, stand on it, be accountable, and just keep moving through life. Before I went on my federal sabbatical in 2009, I had a 71 Monte Carlo, like a mint 71 Monte Carlo, old school. I gave the car to my son, Brian. I gave him the car.
I was a little salty about that, but you know, I got the ride P-side, so we was cool.
So I gave the car to Brian, and what happened was after Brian decided that he didn't want to go to college no more, he reached out to me and asked me if he could sell the car. He said, I want to sell the car so I can go to real estate school to get my real estate license. So I'm gonna spend part of the money to get my real estate license. I'm gonna spend the other part to get me a Honda. And I was like, when he asked me that, I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do with the car. But that was inspiring because most kids they wouldn't want to sell the car. They would be in love with the car. They want the car for the fake attention that they get, but he wanted to sell the car to make an investment in himself. How did you come up with that decision versus keeping the car and, you know, just riding around looking good in the car?
I wanted to be independent. My mom, she ain't want me to drop out of school. She was opposed to it. She the one that introduced me to the real estate school, and she was willing to pay for it. But I feel like I wanted my own independence. So it's like, I'm gonna give up something to get something in the long run. So that's basically what happened. Felt like I could always go back and get the car, buy another one. Never bought it, but now I'm at that point where I'm thinking about an old school. So I just really wanted to be independent. I didn't want to have that over my head. Like, my mom paid for everything. He was already paying for college. It's like, it's time for me to pay for something.
And I was paying for college while I was in jail. I was pissed too, because I know he ain't like college. He ain't like regular school. Like, if you don't like regular school, don't waste your money going to college.
I'm opposed to that. I'm on the opposite end of that. I say, go to college to get the experience. Like, that college experience was great for me, even though I don't have a degree or anything like that. Like, that don't define you. But like, going out there, you know, getting the people skills, the social skills, you know, networking and all that, like, I wouldn't trade that for the world. So with my kids, if you want to go to college, even if I know it's a waste of money for a year or two, like, I'll pay for you to have that experience. It's priceless.
And that's why you want kids that think for themselves. That's a good thing. Fast forward, when I got off my federal sabbatical, 2012, I came home and I remember buying my first property. When I got home, I bought a property on Eddy Road. I don't remember the exact address, but I bought a 2-family, was brown and white on Eddy Road here in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was rebuilding from the ground up, you know, kind of like starting over. And me and Brian had a conversation. Brian said that he wanted to do real estate, like he was serious about going all in on real estate. I didn't really believe him. And so I was like, come work with me for free to show me that you serious. And the reason why I say that, because a lot of people made comments about him working with me for free. Here's what I've noticed on my journey. I'm 51 years old. Here's what I noticed on my journey. Most of the people that I know that got things handed to them, they don't have nothing today. They handicapped. They don't have nothing. Like, they've been handicapped. They wasn't taught to put in work for what they want. They got it handed to them. They don't value it. And so most of the men that I know, like coming up, that got things handed to them, they got handicapped for the rest of their life and they don't really have anything. And so I knew that that never worked. So I didn't want my kids to be handicapped. I wanted them to always be in a position where they know they got to work for it. They know that they can be, do, and have anything they want. They work for it and they focus on coming up with solutions. Anything in life, any problem, it's a solution for it. So if you know how to think and you focus on solutions, it's nothing that you can't have on this planet. And so I always taught my kids that. So when he told me he wanted to do real estate, I told him to come work with me for free. We had to have 2 conversations about it. He came to work with me for free.
Yep. Even on days he ain't show up, I was still there. Paid the whole unit in the 2-family by myself.
That's how you know somebody's serious. He was over there like it was his house, picking up material from Home Depot, overseeing the contractors like it was his house. So he showed me, he demonstrated that he really wanted to be in real estate. So after we did that project, the next house, I paid him to project manage it. And so I started to pay him for project managing. And then as he started to make his money, he didn't go blow his money like most people blow their money and then go borrow. They want to borrow money for the important that they need in their life. But for their money, they blow it all. And then they want to reach out to the people that's putting in work to borrow their money. He saved his money. And so by him saving his money, as more opportunities presented itself to me, he was in a position to be able to partner with me on those opportunities where he can make more money. Did y'all hear that? Because a lot of y'all out there that's listening to this, you looking at whether it's family members, cousins, your parents, your homie that got the football contract, you looking for help, but you never use the information that they've been giving you for the last 5 or 10 years. So you ain't even in position to take advantage of the opportunities because you ain't done the right thing with your money the last 5 or 10 years. You gotta prepare yourself for everything that you praying for the stuff that you meditating on. So many people come to me I'm trying to get on. Well, I already gave you all the information to get on 5 or 10 years ago. If you use the information that I gave you 5 or 10 years ago about how to go access personal funding, business funding, how to put your credit in place, you would be in position to be able to take advantage of opportunity. But you ain't in position, so ain't nothing for us to talk about but the latest song that's out. So I can remember when one of them opportunities presented itself, I believe it was the 3 unit on 125th and Buckeye. Was that it?
No, before that, we partnered on a deal. It was a duplex on Olivet off 105 here in Cleveland, Ohio. I think they wanted $3,500 for it. He offered me the opportunity to partner. We partnered. I had to sell a few pairs of shoes I had and then take a few back to Nordstrom's to get the money, but that's how we partnered the first deal.
Wow, that was the first deal. What was the second one?
The second one was 125th. It was a 3 unit. It was a 2 family in the front, a single in the back. I want to say we bought it for like $10,000. And then for my 21st birthday, he gave me the property, like his share of the property. And then to rehab the property, since I was still building up cash, the first deal that we had, I gave that to my contractor, so he did the labor for free, and I just had to buy the material.
Wow, and then you sold that house, right?
Yeah, I sold the house through a guy that I met, like wholesaling properties and stuff. We sold it for $75,000. Took that money, bought 3 newer construction properties, and then the rest is history. Honestly, like that deal in itself, like that's how I got to where I'm at today. Like buying that deal, selling it at 75 and using that money and basically kept doing the right things with the money instead of spending it.
Wow. What was your first project, Aaron?
My first project was a little different. I had a property on 104th and Union. And how I got into the property was, like I said, when I finally got to the point of me being ready, I got behind these guys, got me some credit funding. Like I said, I went and bought the house. I did the rehab. It was not the best rehab, but I learned a lot. I broke even on my money and I sold the property. But like I said, from the first property, like I learned so much, I was able to do another property after that. And like he said, now, you know, where were we at?
What would you tell somebody, because a lot of parents ask me, like, what did I do to get y'all to do real estate?
Honestly, I wouldn't say you did anything to get us. All you did was like be you, demonstrate and expose us to the information and the resources. And then from there, it's like we could kind of see that and compare it to, you know, other people in our families or other people that we're around. And then we just basically came up with our own decision and then ran with it. So I don't really think it's like getting your kid to do something or pushing them to do something. All you can do is expose them to the information and let them make the best decision for them. Even in the beginning, if you know, they don't make the right decision, they'll learn in the long term and then they'll come back around.
How would you answer that, Aaron?
I kind of agree, and I'll piggyback off a little bit of what he said. So early on, like my dad had both of us read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. As long as I've known my dad, he's been the rich dad. And on the other end, I've met a lot of my friends' parents, and like, I hate to say it, but they had the poor mentality. It wasn't that they were poor people, they had the poor mentality, and the decisions and the things that they made in their household versus what I was seeing my dad do was way different. So it's just like, I knew how I wanted to live, and he already demonstrated to us, you know, how you can get there. So I just decided to follow suit, and you know, the rest is history.
This question for Brian. How did you learn how to walk through properties and evaluate them?
Being hands-on as a kid, starting outside, just repetition. He walked me through a few properties, and then we'd pull up the properties. He'd sit in the driveway, send me inside. I got to do the numbers, come back out with my numbers. Then he'd go in after me, and we go from there.
Aaron, how did you learn?
I kind of learned by just being thrown in the fire, but when I feel like something's shaky or whatever, like I always go to my older brother and ask him like, what's his opinion? If I can't get to him, then I go to my dad. So for the most part, I would just try things on my own and get as much information as I can, like from outside sources, like just to try to figure it out on my own before I take my problems to somebody else. So when it gets to a point where I feel like, okay, maybe I'm unsure or uncertain, then I go to somebody who I know is like certain. So that's my father or my brother. So he really taught me how to do numbers, basically the same way my dad taught him how to do numbers. Walk through, tell me what you think, and then I'll tell you what I think. And then, you know, cross-pollinate, and this is right, that's wrong. And over time, it just becomes second nature.
How would y'all answer people say that you shouldn't work with family?
I would say you shouldn't work with some family, not all family, because it's people who I consider family that are, we not related. And there's people that, you know, are my family, and it's like, we probably can't even hold a conversation together just because of, you know, our mentor is somewhere else. That's my take on it.
Yeah, my take is you vet your family the same way you do anybody else. So if you and your family don't have a good regular relationship, why would you do business with that person? I'll just say just vet them, see if the energy line up, and then maybe do like a small money transaction to see if y'all can actually do business. But me and him, since a young age, we've been, you know, handling money and different things like that. We never had no problems. Even in business today, like we don't have no problems. If something come up, he pay it, I pay it. It ain't no, you gotta do 50, I gotta do 50. We just got like a good dynamic. We bounce ideas off of each other. So it was really smooth. Like we just grew up together basically. And we knew it would work from like a young age.
So the house we standing in is their property. This one of the properties that they currently got on the market, fresh rehab. The first question is, how did y'all find this property?
Well, he found the property. He sent it to me. Like I said, I'm an agent, so he sent it over to me. We did a walkthrough. We thought it was a no-brainer. We bought the property for I think like $43,000 or something like that. Most people say they stay out of this area, but you know, we took a chance.
What's this area?
This is 44103.
So y'all bought it for 43?
Yep.
What was the rehab?
I don't know the exact number, but we all in for somewhere between 90 and 100,000 all in. Our target at the beginning was to list it for about 150. We ended up listing it for 159.9. We under contract at 175. We did the inspections and everything. We got like a few tweaks to make, but we gonna sell for 175.
This is a two-family?
No, it's a two family. So most of the deals that me and him do together, he find most of the deals and he just send them to me. So like that's another thing with the dynamic. Like he could have just took this property and did it himself because he's capable of doing it, but he's sending deals to me every day, all day. I just put in an offer on a property yesterday that was actually a property that he sent over. So that's just how we do it.
It's enough opportunities for everybody. So, you know, we try to spread it, you know, as much as we can between us three and whoever else is around.
So you find most of the properties?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. How do y'all find most of y'all deals?
Using OPM, which is other people's money. So we have a private money lender, and we also have a hard money lender. And then we use our own cash for a lot of transactions as well. So a mixture of everything. I mean, it depends on the property and the deal, like whatever fits.
So what's next for y'all in terms of real estate or anything? What's next?
So me personally, I've been doing flips for like the last 3 years, and I want to kind of transition more into a portfolio building thing so I can have cash flow. Looking for something more passive. That way I'm not living deal to deal or check to check. So I'm looking to build a portfolio and, you know, make something a little bit more passive. As well as us two together, we're going to continue, you know, flipping houses together, and then we're starting the teaching thing. So we do have a class coming up that we would like to roll out a couple other things behind.
Basically, that's what's next. We do a lot of flipping right now, basically to build up capital, but we want to get more into like the passive income side of it, more rentals and stuff like that. And then the teaching thing, that ain't my thing, but like, you know, when you partner with somebody, they pull you up out your comfort zone. So he already done dropped the flyer for us, so now I got to show up.
When is the class?
October 25th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Cleveland, Ohio.
What can people expect at the class?
You can expect to learn how to evaluate deals, learn how to talk to contractors, find contractors, also learning what to look for when you walking through these properties, red flags, the whole nine. And then we gonna have another credit professional come in. He gonna teach you how to get funding in order for you to do either real estate, or if you have your eyes set on another business or something, you know, you could do that as well.
So y'all gonna go out in actual properties?
Yep.
Multiple properties.
Yep, we're gonna tour 3 active properties that we actually worked on or going to work on. And then we're gonna do the whole thing from the numbers, us breaking down why we chose the deal and how we're gonna dispose the deal.
How can people find y'all?
Instagram at Aaron Wynn, ERINWYNN.
Instagram, Flip Cleveland.
Can you spell that?
They know how to spell Flip Cleveland. If you don't, you probably shouldn't follow the page.
Hey, there you have it. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Beyond Win. In the field with my favorite 2 homies, my son. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.